Well, clearly, as you understand, I'm not going to comment upon the incident specifically because it goes into a disciplinary process this coming week. I think probably as every England fan feels is disappointment in the game today and the need to keep, I said it before, we want 15 players on the pitch for 80 minutes of every game, and you're playing the #1 ranked side in the world in their stadium, and we go to 14 men. It becomes a very, very difficult task at that point in time.
You could now go to start the World Cup, start with a game without them, Farrell, and if things go a certain way next week. What's your reaction to that at this point?
Well, I think there's a disciplinary process going to be going on this week, as we understand, and hopefully we'll find conclusion on both matters this week, and it won't go into another week. And then once I have all the facts, I'll deal with them.
And obviously, so you probably have two hearings next week, so that will another layer of frustration.
Sorry, could you say that again?
There'll be two hearings next week now, won't there? So that will obviously disrupt plans even further.
Yeah, well, we talked about the way this test week was disrupted, and I need to adapt throughout the week. We'll need to next week. We already knew we had to, and it's another challenge that's been thrown at us.
In terms of the match itself, there were some signs of that attacks coming to life. Obviously, the result hasn't gone the way we wanted it. What's your result overall?
I think that clearly, if you look at the point when you go to 14 men against Ireland, it becomes very, very difficult. I think, in that sense, whilst incredibly disappointed, and I'll say I'm disappointed with, as every England fan, I think, would be with the result. The players kept fighting at the very end. I thought the players that came off the bench added on the pitch. I think if you then consider the first period of the game where it was 15 v 15 and we were going against a very good Ireland side, there was a tight battle for a long period of time. You know, it's just before half time, it's sitting at 7-3, and we'd missed some opportunities and turned over ball in the final third. So we hadn't been able to put enough pressure upon them. We'd obviously missed some points at goal and the opportunity to go to the corner. So I think when it was 15 on 15, it was a tight battle. Unfortunately, it didn't stay 15 on 15. I think both Kevin and myself have gone on record many times and talked about how the importance of correct tackle skill is, and working on correct tackle skill, and how important player welfare is, and that's still where the approach we take.
Importantly, obviously, what's your reaction to that? Because I mean, there were some elements of the points went well, but obviously the scoreline comes to tell the same story.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very disappointing. The thing is, if we just get certain things right in that game, it's very different. It's a very different game, and they're all things that we can control. But we have to be better at controlling them. So there's obviously a lot of positives, which is great. If we tidy up a couple of areas, we'll be a much different team, and we prove we can hang with the best as long as we get them right. But doesn't make it any less disappointing that we didn't get it right today.
How do you react to it? Do you kind of, as a group, get frustrated, angry with it, or do you have to be cool heads and
We won't give up. We will relentlessly pursue the betterment of our team, and that's all we can do.
I think in terms of building on some of the aspects of the game that we've seen some development in is the continued development of that. Clearly, the area we need to work upon, or the area we've seen we need to see more improvement in, is that conversion of opportunities in the final third. And Do we want to see more progress? Absolutely. And that's what we'll be focusing our attention upon over this coming week and beyond as we build into that first game of the World Cup.
I mean, the reaction, I'm kind of looking and people hearing what people are saying, and the reaction is another week, another card. Like the public are completely baffled that this happened again. What's your message to them that things are on the right track or going to improve the World Cup?
So I think the message, and I said, I'm sure every England supporter is disappointed, and I share that feeling with them, and I'm sure the players do also, because we want to ensure that, one, we win games, and we want to be in a position to win games, and then winning becomes a habit. So that's something we all share. Do we want 15 players on the pitch? Absolutely. Now, the specific incident today, that incident with Billy, I've not looked at again because I was more focused upon concentrating upon the game and what we needed to do with it. But it'll be very clear. Kevin and I have gone on record many times and talked about what we coach and what we want to happen in the tackle, and I stand by that.
How is Billy in the chance of talking about it?
I saw him very briefly in the change rooms, and clearly he's disappointed with the situation, what's happened. We've got a process we'll go through. He understands that, and we'll aim for a conclusion this week.
And I see there's always kind of, he's very full support by your players. What you need to do to look after him.
Without question, we all wish to, as we all do with each of our games, is learn from what we can from the game and move forward with it.
Steve, do you think there was any impact on the performance from what's happened in the match?
It's always difficult to accurately evaluate that because it's an unknown, but it certainly hasn't helped our preparation this coming week, and what we need to do is we're going to have to deal with it again in this forthcoming week, and we're going to have to ensure we minimise any disruption and distraction of it to get the performance we want. We play against Fiji back at Twickenham next week. We want to make sure we get a win. We want to make sure we get an improved performance, so that then, because from there, that winning is a habit, and we want to make sure we start building that habit.
You said last week that the thing with Owen was a massive distraction and a massive disruption to your plans. Is it inevitable that now going to the Fiji game, it's going to be equally chaotic? How are you going to manage that?
Well, one of the key elements was that we thought we'd reached a conclusion on Tuesday early afternoon this last week, and it turns out we hadn't. It then continued through the rest of the week, and then had that impact. Now, what we aim to do is ensure that the process, both processes that we'll have a conclusion early this week, and don't continue all the way through into the game.